Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, I just did the video of STP playing at HF Festival where I went to. And so the onslaught of people wanting me to watch this at Latrobe, at Rolling Rock, PA. I remember when I was a kid, people telling me that this was the best concert ever, but there was no footage. And somehow over the years, the footage emerged. And so this is Plush and Tripping on a Hole in a Paper Heart. Let's watch it together, learn a little bit. Been a long time since I've played these songs, learned these songs, but like, I am so excited to watch Scott and this band in its prime. People sleep on how incredible this band is, especially the bass. Again, you wouldn't think of it, but one of these bands, like Rage Against the Machine, where like the bass leads a lot of the riffs, Here we go. Let's take it in. Like right there, okay? Now again, I learned this song years ago, so I remember the intro is this. Oh, sorry. So what this is, right? You're in G, right? You're in the key of G, but you're not making a major or minor. You're making a power chord, right? This is root, fifth root, and then you make this little diminished, this G diminished thing, okay? So just like you would have D7 is like this, just push it up, right? But what's gnarly is that in the bass, what he does is, Robert, right? Yeah, what he does is he plays the lowest note, right? This B flat in the bass on the bass, okay? So it gets this, and then when this goes down, pinky stays the same to give it this A, C, and G. So normally you would think of this as kind of like an A minor 7 vibe. But he follows the bass note down, right? As this goes down, what does he do? Does he go down there? Yeah, exactly, right? While this descends, right? See, that's how I learned it. Like G, B flat, A, G, like a G minor kind of thing, right? But what the bass does is it does this G, B flat, C, G. So even though this is kind of like an A minor 7 thing, you put a C in the bass, right? And it makes it this C6 kind of thing, right? But you don't even need to think about it. Just while one motion goes down, right? One goes up. Just so cool. You gotta just listen to the bass on this song. And by the way, this is slow. A lot of doubles. I remember he plays so many doubles and flams. so much gold in here. Okay, I'll try to keep it. Okay, first things. It is slow. Slow, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, like, what is it? 83, something like that, right? A lot of sloppy open hi-hats on purpose, that big like rock concert drum feel, but it is slow. It's hard to play this slow and just groove like this, right? And again, the bass. You got this, the same walk-ups, he's doing in the bass. But this middle part, you got this G major, okay? And then the bass note just descends chromatically one at a time. Actually, let me play through it one more time to double check, but like, stand by. Wow, listen. The bass leads this shit. So this part right here, G major, okay? Just the bass goes G, F sharp, F, E, E flat. One of the biggest 90s hit songs of my generation. That is the bass line to the verse, right? G, F sharp, F, E, E flat. Ridiculous. So here's the way it works. G over G. D over F sharp. So put the third in the bass. F over F. Put the root in the bass. C over E. Right? Put the third in the bass. And then out of nowhere, E flat major. But it looks like he's making it in E major 7. So like getting rid of the E flat and letting the D ring out, which really just is a G minor triad over E flat. So there's so much mixing of major and minor. From this beginning part, right, this G, right, that B flat is a minor third. So it's a G major, immediately G minor. Same thing happens in the verse here. This chromatic walk down, G major, change in keys, ends with this, feels like a suspension on G minor, which is that E flat major 7. And then immediately you get this D, C, G over B, C. So like a 1, flat 7, 4, flat 7, right? So many amazing little songwriting vehicles packed into one thing, and it's totally bass driven. That was a hot little run. Like in D, like, right? So good. Slow. Yes. First of all, Scott is the fucking best. I'll wait till the end to talk about him because there's so much to talk about. But talk about great songwriting vehicles. Saving this heavy power chord part, which I know I'm getting wrong, okay? But saving this heavy power chord part for the tag on the chorus, like the post-chorus kind of thing, where you hit the offbeats, where you snag this voice leading where it's like G, right? F, and then it's down to C, first inversion. So you get this like, right? So it's like this. It's just so great. It's just so good. Dude, Scott owns this stage, man. Wiping someone's dirty underwear all over himself. You know it's something like that. Another thing I've always loved about FTP, these big breaks, and where it's like this silence, and they come right back into it, into the big sing-along. Look at it. Hear that guitar part? Bass coming in. Hear how staggered that was? Look at him. End with the intro. Yeah, give him 5. Just absolutely wild and bananas. And Scott is just on another planet. I'll talk about him in a second. It's a perfect pop song. So many quirks to it, but it sells them all over and over again. It's a giant stadium sing-along. It's slow. It's huge. It's unbelievable. You end the way you start. It's just perfect. It's perfect. Let's go. Oh, this one's gonna fucking crush me. Okay. It just some things bring you back to that time and place when you were that person. There's so much to talk about in here. All right, I learned this when I was a kid. That right, but it's like right. There's a Yeah, I think it was this. Right? An A power chord with I think this is an A power chord, but with a flat 5 on top, right? Now. Okay, there's just, Scott's gonna crush my face here. The thing to pay attention to in this song, I mean, there's so much, right? But the tempo, you know, this. Right? So it does this F thing, right? Where it's like it's F minor, right? From flat 7 to root. And then your bass running all over the goddamn place, but it's essentially making this A kind of suspended sound. Like you have an A power chord, and it's up to B over A. Like it's this. It's one of those like that. I don't remember. Used to know these things, right? But then when it starts to slow down, okay, not to a click, it slows down to almost half the tempo for the chorus to sing along, right? And it does this A, G sharp, G, right? And then he does this almost like the song they covered, like Dancing Days. I'm sure he stole it from that, right? But listen to this impossible slowdown with this chromatic walk down in the bass. Like we talk about songwriting vehicles. Slowing down to the sludge for a big time stadium sing along is insane. It's fucking insane. Right? All these, right? Every other time around. Right? Tell him, Scott. Is that bass? Let's get some of this. You got this. Right? Love that slide to the F sharp, right? Right? Because again, it's got that Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. Listen to that bass and how it slows down again. It's just... Okay, that totally got me. It just takes you back to that time and place and that person you were back then. In that crowd in the 90s, when that was what that world was, right? When the 90s were just about over, 2000, 2001. All I'll say, Scott had a tremendous, his demons and everything are well documented, right? I would love to read his book. I have forgotten not even how much I loved him, but I had forgotten how much of an impact he had made on my musical life. I'll just say this, because this video is really long. I have gotten the chance to see a lot of music in my life. My middle and high school years in particular were... I don't even know how many shows I went to. Multiple a week for the entirety of the time, and it continued through college. And then I went to school for music. Like it has consumed my whole life, right? I have seen some tremendous bands. I have seen performances that I cannot describe, right? But it is very hard for me to think of a moment. It is very hard for me to think, how do I even put this? He was just a fucking rock star. Like, he's up in that league with like Ozzy, where you never expect this person to exist and to run into them at the grocery store. Like, you go for the spectacle, for the entertainment. You go to see somebody that you don't think should exist or even does exist. There's a magic to it. And they own the stage in a way that, like, it was always theirs. It was never yours. And the other bands were just holding it for them. And even after they walked off the stage, they were renting it from you, right? Scott was that motherfucker. He was one of those guys where, like, he came out and you didn't know whether he was going to be a complete train wreck or if it was going to be this super sad show and you felt sorry, or if it was going to be like literally watching an alien. But you sure as shit knew you weren't running into him at the goddamn Giant later, right? Larger than life and the king of stadium anthem sing-alongs from that era, in my opinion. And that song, Tripping on a Hole, look at him, just an absolute mutant. And I love it so much. Oh, I did not expect it to get me like that. That is it, my friends. I love you all. If you dig the vibe here, hit subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great goddamn day.